everybody, this is Michael Ringtail and this is Lemur Talks. So let's dive right in to the election. Woo! Election! And so, the Republicans are trying to be a little more diverse this year. Let's see how diverse they're being, shall we? Let's see, we have 2 Hispanic senators. Florida Senator Mark Rubio, Texas Senator Ted Cruz. They're both anti-gay. How about an Indian American governor, Bobby Jindal, who is also anti-gay? What else you got for us, Republicans? A female business leader, Carly Fiorina. If I said her name wrong, I don't give a shit. She's also anti-gay. Cool boy. How about an African American neurosurgeon, Ben Carson, who's also anti-gay? Did I leave anyone out? Nope. Oh, of course. Jeb Bush. Who could forget good old Jeb Bush? Who's kind of anti-gay like. He supports gay families, but not gay marriage. How does that logic work in his mind? I don't fucking know.
Speaking of which, Bobby Jindal just reaffirmed that he'd be willing to sign on to a amendment that would completely overturn the Supreme Court, giving us the right to marry.
Fantastic.
So basically, it's a federal marriage amendment again. But it's worded differently this time. This time it's worded so that a state can just not accept the Supreme Court's ruling.
Right.
It would basically be a constitutional amendment to pretty much to overturn the Supreme Court's ability to rule in any case.
Fantastic. That's fantastic news. So there you have it. There's your diverse Republican crowd. You know, it'd be nice if I could go into an election season and not have to worry about my equal rights as a living being on this planet. A strong economy and a balanced budget doesn't really mean much to me if I can go in prison for breathing the same air as someone else. When are they going to get off this platform? Isn't that what killed Mitt Romney's campaign? Like, he's still fucking harping over gay marriage the entire time. So, overall, I think the Republicans are still stuck in this bodacious 90s period. Let me take you back there, before the internet age, before information flowed freely.
About 100 demonstrators were arrested. The primary target was the American Medical Association, which is headquartered in Chicago. An AMA spokesman said it supported changes that would provide insurance for those now considered to be not insurable.
The question, should prominent gays and lesbians who want their sexuality kept secret be exposed by other homosexuals?
Back then, if you were gay, you were assumed to be a pedophile.
The Scout leaders say they are not concerned a homosexual Scoutmaster would molest his charges, but it is a possibility that weighs on the minds of parents like Ernie Brecht.
And if you're a child coming out as gay, well, if you weren't kicked out for being assumed to molest your fellow siblings, you might be going off to a camp where they try to fix you with electricity.
The month of hell consisted of tiny needles being stuck into my fingers, and then pictures of explicit acts between men would be shown, and I'd be electrocuted. My dad has held a gun up to my head multiple times, but the last time I got on the phone that I tried to keep calling. I want contact. Was that he would shoot me if I ever tried to walk in the door again.
And if you had HIV or AIDS, oh fuck, you were just assumed to be gay.
That's why this latest ruling is important. It says the Pentagon may exclude gays because they might spread the fatal and incurable AIDS virus.
It presumes that all gay men and lesbians are infected. It presumes that heterosexuals are not infected.
In fact, now that I think about it, if you didn't fit within the norm, you were assumed to be gay anyways.
A man can get beat up for being gay while fucking a woman. That can happen when you're in high school. It's a very, very special time.
And faggot was just part of the daily language, kind of like how they use it today. You know, if there was just a inkling, just a little bit of education when it came to that word faggot, as much as they give us education when it comes to the word nigger, maybe people wouldn't be using that word as a noun to describe things that are considered stupid shit. Much like the candidates that Republicans have. So what else do you have other than this diverse Republican crowd? Oh yes, Sarah Palin.
Because we, the people, we realize that this is war. As I say, it is war for the solvency, the sovereignty of the United States of America.
I'll bet Bobby would enjoy going to the pool, don't you know?
Sarah Palin, everybody. Sarah Palin. Sarah Palin. God save the Queen, Sarah Palin. And what else do you have? Mike Huckabee. Ah, yes, Mike Huckabee. A true red-blooded American. A man who says that we should not live in a theocracy, which I agree with. And then he turns around and says we should live in a theocracy. All within the same fucking sentence.
We cannot survive as a republic if we do not become, once again, a God-centered nation that understands that our laws do not come from man, they come from God. It's the natural law of God. Our founders really understood that and believed it.
They did.
Now, I'm not saying that a person should run and say, let's have a theocracy, because I don't think we should. We cannot survive as a republic if we do not become, once again, a God-centered nation, a God-centered nation, a God-centered nation.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that a person should run and say, let's have a theocracy, because I don't think we should.
This is Bob Barbas, just doing God's work.
And it's not like the Democrats offer anything greater, but at least they don't want to imprison me. I would like to vote for a third candidate, but nope, you're wasting your vote. You're wasting your vote if you vote a third candidate. You're wasting your vote. They really drilled that into our heads, didn't they? And on a final note, to all those people who are just satisfied with just their circle of friends, their Xbox, and think that all that matters, fuck you. Fuck you and your complacency in life. Just let circumstance determine where you land. That's it. And this is like the one time that people pretend to be interested in politics. It's only because it's shoved in all our faces around this time. You know, maybe there'll come a day where you won't have a choice in the matter. They'll just bust down your door, take you away, and put you in some rehabilitation camp for not falling in line with what they consider to be acceptable behavior, acceptable state of being. Maybe then we can arise out of people. Maybe then. Just maybe. I'm Michael Ringtail, and this is Lemur Talks.
You know, the only thing worse than not being elected president would be to be elected president without God's blessing. I can't think of a worse place in the world to be than in the Oval Office without God's hand upon you.
This is Bob Barbas, just doing God's work.